Welcome to my channel. This video is going to show you how to make the perfect Nigerian stew. So if that's what you are looking for, then you should watch to the end. The major ingredients for this recipe is the tomatoes, the onions, and the peppers. And then for protein, you can switch between using fish, turkey, chicken, pork, goat meat, whatever meat of your choice. It's totally up to you. So to begin, I'm just going to slice the tomatoes into big chunks, and then I'm going to place it into a pot without water, and then I'll boil it. So just watch to the end to see how the whole video is going to turn out. Trust me, it's going to be an amazing experience, so keep watching. So guys, I just finished slicing the tomatoes and I put it in a pot without water, and I'm going to let it boil till it gets to that stage that you can see now. It took about 15 to 20 minutes to get like this, and this we're just going to continue boiling till the whole water is dried up. So the reason for this step is for me not to overcook it after blending. Once the water is dried up, the whole sourness will be gone, so the tomato is going to have that original sweet taste of tomatoes, and then you can just fry for a few minutes and your stew is ready. So while it's still boiling, I'm just going to go ahead and be cutting the fish. This is me removing the fins, and then I'm going to slice it into smaller pieces depending on your choice. If you want to make it big, you can slice it to whatever size you want. So after that, we're just going to wash it and season it. So just continue watching and see how it turns out. Meanwhile, I have a question for you. Do you like to throw away the head of fish, or you'd rather eat the head of fish? Let me know in the comment section. So guys, I've finished washing the fish now. It's time to season it. You can use whatever favorite fish seasoning of your choice. Just pour it in and then mix it very well. I like using this method to mix because it's quite easy and faster for me. Just flip it over and the whole recipe is combined, the whole ingredients it's combined into the fish, as you can see. So after this stage, I'm just going to go ahead and cover it and allow it to marinate for like 1 to 2 hours. So while that one is waiting, I came to check the tomatoes, and the water is almost dried up. As you can see, it has really gone down. This is what we're looking for. At this stage, I'm just going to go ahead and add the peppers. What do you guys call this? In Nigeria, it's called shombo. That's the Yoruba language. So I'm just going to add the peppers and then let it dry up. Let the tomatoes dry up more, and then we're just going to go ahead and blend it. Meanwhile, it's very important for the tomatoes to cool down so that it don't mess up your blender. So once the water is dried up, we're just going to let it cool down. In a hot pan, I'm going to add oil and let it be heated up, then add the fish, and we're going to fry the fish while the tomatoes is still cooling down. We use that time to fry the fish. So it's been frying for some time now. I just came to give it a flip over, and I noticed some people usually boil their fish before frying it. How does that work? Even this one that I'm frying like this, I have to still be careful, before while I'm turning it over. I have to still be careful, if not it will just scatter. But some people usually boil theirs before frying. I don't know how that works, but I don't think I'm gonna try that. And meanwhile, Nigerians, how are they cope with the economy? this economy is really tough, and prices of foodstuff have gone high. A lot of people are complaining, but I pray that God provides for everybody and we scale through these hard times. So let's continue with our cooking process. Guys, it's been a while now and the fish are properly fried. It's time to remove them from the hot oil, and I have some that have not fried because the pan was not big enough, so I'm just going to put that one after I have removed these ones. I did not remove this one because I noticed it still needs some time to fry very well, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the remaining ones that I left. So I'm just going to fry everything and then we continue with the entire cooking and we're going to see the outcome. Okay, guys, the whole fish now is properly fried. I'm just removing it from the oil and adding it into a sieve so that the remaining oil can drip out from the fish so that it will not soak oil. Now it's time to blend our pepper, onions and tomatoes. I'm just going to go ahead and pour everything into the blender and blend it until it's very smooth. While I was pouring, I had to be very careful so that it doesn't pour out, so just continue, just try to be careful while we're in the kitchen to avoid spill, to avoid burns. It's very necessary. You want to blend it to be very smooth. It's very important for this recipe. So now I just finished blending. Now this is the main, what do I call it, the main game is about to start. So we have been preparing the ingredients all this while. You have to be very attentive at this stage. In a hot pan, I'm just going to add some oil that has been I use the oil that I used to fry the fish for this. So I just sieve the oil into a clean pot and then I added sliced onions. Allow the onions to saute for about 1 minute and then we're just going to add tomato paste. this is me adding the tomato paste now. This one is different from the one we grinded, but you can skip it if you don't want. But I like to add tomato paste to complement my tomatoes, especially if you don't have a lot of tomatoes for this and you want it in larger quantity. You can use tomato paste to complement the fresh tomatoes. So I just added it and I'm going to allow it to fry very well for at least 10 to 15 minutes so that it can be properly fried before adding the blended mix. So it's been about 10 minutes now. I stirred it. Now it's time to add the blended mix. So after adding, I'm just going to stir it. Make sure to scoop out everything from the blender. It's very, very important. So I'm going to give it a very good mix. Everything will combine and cook very well. Remember, we have cooked the tomatoes before and it doesn't need a lot of excess frying anymore. So I'm just going to stir it and I'm going to leave it to fry by itself for like 10 minutes before adding the seasoning. So it's been about 15 minutes now. I'm giving it a quick stir and then I'm still going to leave it to fry some more. So now I'm back, guys, and it's time to season it. I use 2 chicken seasoning and 2 Maggi cubes. So you know how we do it now. We squeeze the seasoning cubes and then I'm going to add this powder mix. It contains rosemary, thyme, curry and some other spice, then some salt, and then I'm just going to mix everything to combine. After mixing everything, we're going to allow it to cook for like 5 minutes before adding the fish. So I did that off camera. Now it's time for me to add the fish. I've added it, as you can see. We're just going to gently fold everything in and allow the fish to release its flavor into the stew and let it combine. Let it cook for another 8-10 minutes and it's ready. So guys, you can see that steam coming out. The stew is ready. I've removed it from the hot stove and I already served my rice. So it's time to enjoy. This is me serving the fish and the stew and time to eat. The food is ready. Let's taste what we have cooked. If you try this recipe, tell me how it comes out. And if you've cooked Nigerian stew another method other than this, compare this method and your method and let me know which one you prefer in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate. So it's time to taste the food. Yummy! It tastes absolutely nice. It came out so well. And if you are new to my channel, you have not subscribed, please do it to subscribe. This is Boldesty Kitchen and my name is Sharon. On this channel I share amazing recipes.